Okay. Okay. All right, now give me 2 guards up top. So like we're coming down running our offense, guys. All right. So that's all the foundational stuff, what we do to build our players' skills. Now, everything that we just did, guys, you can't forget any of that because you're going to do it again and again and again inside the offense. And I'm going to point out to you all the skill work that you just did and what you're going to do in the offense. Now, when we actually get into the offense, and guys, you won't run all of this, and coaches, you won't install all of this. And it, again, depends on what level you're at. But there are 4 core series. There's the low post series, and this is, you'll see another coach say, well, there's 7 main things Princeton does, or there's 9 things, or there's 3 things. And to me, for me, the easiest way for me to understand is there's 4 core series. There's a low post series, there's the chin series, there's the point series, there's the open series, which is Princeton's 5 out. Those are the 4 series. There's a 5th one they call the flash series. That's the one that Princeton beat UCLA with 98. I don't teach that one a lot because at the high school, it's a lot more intricate. I'll teach it last. That's the last thing that I'll teach. And there's a great time to use it. But for the most part, to keep this as simple as possible, there's 4 series. It does not matter which one you teach, first, second, third, or fourth. All right? The way I usually say, like if you're trying to decide which one to run, I will say the first series you want to install is going to benefit your best player. So if your best players are guards that can drive and attack and play off ball screens and create, I would say run the point series. If you have a team that has shooters that can't create for themselves, they need a little bit more structure, I'll say run chin. If you've got a dominant low post big, I'll say run low post. Put that one in first. If you're playing small ball and that's the advantage you're going for, I will say, hey, run the open series and run that one first. And then when I say, okay, well, what do we do next? What's the next series you put in? And it's like sometimes you got to put in chin last or low post first and then put in chin. You know, for the most part, I'll just recommend just put in 2 to start. But the first one I'm going to say is what's going to benefit your best players. The second series we put in is what's going to benefit your role players. So maybe you've got 2 players that are really good at the ball, really good attacking. I'll say put in the point series first for them. Got a 5-man that can make those exchanges and those passes. Put in the point series first for those 2 guards. They're your best players. They're going to carry you for the most part. And then my other 3 players are, they're just shooters. They can't create anything. So let's put in chin. So let's put in the point series. Let's put in chin. And that's kind of how I'll go through. Or we'll say maybe the second best player is your second best scoring option is your post player. I'll say, well, let's put in point first. Let's put in low post second. That's kind of the way that I go at that. I'm just going to go in the order that I like to teach. And we're going to go low post first. So come over here. Actually, let's just do it on this side of the floor. The ball over here on the left side. Or you guys can switch. It doesn't matter. All 4 guards, you guys are interchangeable. And you guys do a good job of this. Go ahead and back up the half court. You guys already do a pretty good job of this with what you guys know. Some of the terminology that I'm going to give you guys is a little, some of it's the same, some of it's a little different. When we run low post, so starting up here from a skill standpoint, the ball goes to the wing. The series that we run, it depends on where's the ball and where's the 5-man. Kind of dictates, it's kind of like the pulling back the curtains on the Princeton offense on what you're running. Where's the ball, where's the 5-man? If the ball's on the wing and the 5-man's low, they're probably trying to run low post. Okay? If the ball's at the top of the key and the 5-man's high, they're probably trying to run the point series. But for you coming down the court to start the offense, again, ball in your right hand, ball in your left hand, doesn't matter. Okay? But you need to make a dribble move and you need to make a 2-handed chest pass. That's the first thing you need to do. All right, so when you're coming down, so what do you have to do? You have to get me to lean this way so you can make that pass that way. So you can get me lean that way with your eyes. You can do it with your shoulders, with the ball. You can make moves. But you need to get me leaning middle so you can make the ball to the wing. And this is where the problem's going to come in. And again, depending on what level you're at is, let me start you guys out. So let me come back here. You are always 1 step outside, lane line extended. You're 1 step outside, lane line extended. Our wings, I want you above foul line extended and above foul line extended. And here's the thing. Princeton, they don't teach their guys, this is one of those other quirky things. It's kind of, they don't teach their guys to V-cut. They don't teach their guys to get open. If you're running Princeton as like a system, I don't care if he's open or not. Because if he's not open, or the defender's quicker than him, and he can't get open, then I don't want to try to fight our defender's strengths. I don't want to fight their strength. So we don't let them, because if I'm quicker than you, or if I've got 4 inches on you and you're trying to V-cut, you're not getting open. Okay, or you might get open, but he's got to get open the same, because he's got like a Muggsy Bogues type character on him. If you're seeing a pressure defense, at the same time that they're pressuring him, they're denying you, and you guys have to time this up, and you've got to create space, and you've got to create space at the exact same time to get open. I would rather just know if you're open or not open. So if you want, like if it's summer league, if it's open gym or in season, typically in transition, where would you usually go? Right around here, right around the 3. So what they usually do is they'll just run right down here to the 3-point line. Okay, and then it's like they're trying to find their defender. They're trying to find the guys guarding them. But if you come down the 3-point line, all we want to do is start the offense. We're not going to score on the first pass. But if you come down to the 3-point line, the one thing I know for sure he's going to be guarded. And just because I'm standing here, not because I'm guarding him, just because I'm standing here, you're not open. So what we do is we always come down here off the 3-point line. You get a foul line extended and a step up. Okay, and if you go there, and that's like my sweet spot. That's where I like to start the offense. So what happens, that defender, like, oh, he can't score from out there. And now, whether they're pressuring him or not, like, oh, he's open. You can clearly see he's open, so you can throw him the ball. All right, that's what we mean by get open, or that's what we mean by be open, don't get open. All right, the player with the basketball he's the one. He just needs to know, is he open or not. So if you're turning the basketball over a lot, he's trying to V-cut. And if you get, and maybe I'm perfectly happy being down here, but if you start coming down here at me, I'm like, all right, if you're going to do this, okay, and I might do this. And you pop out here, and now, is he open or not? Not really sure, right? This is the hard part. When the defense is right here, if you're not sure he's open, that's where players start thinking. And when your players start thinking, then it's like, oh no, here we go again. Okay, I think I can get it there. Nope, I can't, and it's a turnover. Okay, you need to know, are you open? Right here, he's open. Okay, and maybe you're going to have those teams that are going to come out here like this. Is he open or not? He's not open. It's an easy decision, so we're going to go do something else. All right, we can get into low post different. We'll show you all the different ways we get into it. Yeah. Well, I'll show you exactly what we do in chin, but the principle is just like, are they open or not? And the passer is the one that knows if they're open. Like we talked about when they cut back door, the passers, they've got to know. And if you have more of a role player like point guard by committee, they're not a stud they just need that. It's just black and white. Open or not open? Not open. Open. We're not going to come out here and then try to take them down and try to V-cut. We're just going to go play on the other side of the floor. Or we're going to forwards out. We're going to do something to start our offense a different way. I don't care if they're open or not, because we have something prepared for that. And that's what we're going to get through all weekend long. But the problem is, depending on the level of talent of your players, when they are right here, open or not, not really sure. That's the perfect answer. And if your players aren't that good, or if you're playing a team that's much better than you, if you're not sure, they're not open. I'll just say that. If you're not sure, they're not open. And that just takes the thinking right out of it. Okay, because all we want that player to think is, are they open or not open? All right, so that's why when it comes to positioning, we stop off the 3-point line. Okay, and this is why I personally, the debate online is, should everyone have a shot? You guys have a shot clock here? All right, New York has a shot clock. But I would rather not have the shot clock. I would rather move the 3-point line back, because it more space. I would rather speed the game up with space than speed the game up with time. But anyway, open or not open. So that's the first thing you need to know. So now coming down the floor, so you're not going to V-cut ever. Okay? Now, if you have the players and you know that they can, it's kind of like sometimes they'll just go like this and get open, but the idea is to be open, not to get open. So when you're coming down the floor, again, now you're going to know, is he open? Right now I'm going to tell you he's open. There's no defender on him. When you come down here, but if I'm guarding you like this, and you're trained to throw two-handed chest passes, okay, is he open or not? Not really open. So what do you have to do? Every time you come down the floor, you have to make it, take me here, boom, make a move, and you just create an angle. And now, this is why the two-handed chest pass comes into play. Why we teach that first is because if you teach them to make a move, and he does a good job making a move. Again, you don't have to make that move against the team you guys played last night. But against the teams that keep beating you every year in the season, if you come down and do this and then do that, it's like the simplest thing, but that's how you start your offense. All you have to do is start your offense. All we have to do is initiate your offense, okay? So you always have to make a move, okay? And every time you catch it, so you're always going to make a move. So I'm going to tell this guy, this is when we get to start repping our offense. So that's the repetition part, is the movements we make in the offense. And then the part that I'm emphasizing is, hey, make a move, in and out. Shake him middle, bake him left. We want you to move that defender, manipulate that defender, move that defender so you can create an angle. So I'm telling the point guard, make a move. And then every time they catch it on the wing, how do we want to pass it to the post? Over top, right? So we're talking about how to feed the post down low, guards reach around and get, and I want to feed him up top most I can. Okay, now if you're, again, that's where, if you got bigs trying to come over your shoulders like that, it's an easy foul. So every time you catch it, you're going to catch it and rip. Okay? You're going to catch and rip. So when you catch and rip, my hands go down. And then when you pull back, my hands are down. Now you can pass it. Because now my hands are down here because I'm guarding drive. So guys, when we were talking about all our dribble moves, this is where it comes into play. If you can be a threat like this, driving baseline, boom, I have to respect that because I've seen you do that before. And I come down here like this, and you're running the offense. Now my hands are down. You can zip it over my ear. Okay? Now here's another thing. I'm right-handed. Like the pivot foot question, I always teach our guys, if you're right-handed, pivot on your left because it's natural. I won't teach them because they're on this side of the floor, hey, catch it and pivot on your right. I won't teach them to do that because if I'm playing one-on-one, and that's kind of how I learned how to play, it's just so awkward. I just can't, if I want to be, it's just awkward for a right-hander to pivot on the right foot. It's awkward for a lefty to pivot on the left. So unless I'm coming around a screen for a shot, I'll pivot right, left there. But if I'm catching it here, if I'm on this side of the floor, pivot on your left, boom. That's still, catch it here, I'm like that, and I'm still like I'm juking down. And then your hands go down, I pull back, and now I can pass it over the top. Okay, so here's the offense. Go ahead and back up. Just all these little details. You make a move, you catch it and rip. So go ahead and make a move, 2-inch and out. Go back, do it again. Yeah, it wasn't a very good move, was it? You just like dribble straight at him and make that pass. You got to get me going middle, and you don't have to dribble middle. You can. You just got to make a move middle, juke it, and then hit the wing. Here we go. Boom. There you go. Boom. Hit the wing. Boom. Now, you are going to cut as hard as you can to the opposite corner. Okay? Now, one of the big principles we tell our players, as a group, you watch the player in front of you. They tell you what to do. All right? So you catch and rip. Now, our first thought is low post. Throw it in the low post. All right? But you are going to fill the point, the top of the key. You're not going to replace his spot, but you're going to fill the point. The point is the top of the key on the midline, right on the rim. And again, not on the three-point line because of what we're going to do next. They don't know what we're going to do next, but because of one of our options, if you come right to the three-point line again, I might be right here, but come down to the three-point line. Open or not open? I don't know, try it. I don't know. I mean, he doesn't know. He's not sure. So I'm going to say he's not open. But if you stand out there and I don't move, is he open or not open? Okay, so be open, don't get open. And if you're running the point series, sometimes the goal is not to be on the three, just to be open so we can throw it down to the be open. That's the goal. Just depending on, again, if you're not running the point series and you're running something different, like our one-time, two-time, which we'll talk about in another session, then you can come right down to three-point line. If you're never going to throw it to this guy, you can bring him to the three-point line all you want. But if you want that as an option, we'll start teaching them to stay off. Now, if I'm down here, you can come down a little closer. If I'm up here, maybe, yeah, there you go. So you always see that angle. If I'm right here, okay, maybe back there. Or if I come up here, maybe now, if I come up here, now we're running something different. Okay, now we can start going back door and do all that stuff. Okay, give me 3 white defenders. Hustle. Guarding the point, the wing, and the corner. Okay, so here, if the ball is on the wing, guys, where are you guys defensively? See how good you're, okay. So my feeling is, what you're looking at right now is the college defense. Okay? Most high schools, the well-coached high school teams are going to be right on the midline. Right on the midline. Both players are going to be right on the midline. Right? Just good, whether it's pack line, whether it's denial, a high school defense is going to be on the midline. Okay? The best teams you got to see, this is where they're going to be. Now, if they're so much more talented, the more talented they are, the more they can kind of creep out. But also, we don't have players. Now, For you guys, might be a little bit different. This is going to play in your advantage. Most teams don't have 5 guys that can shoot threes. On this court, there's 4 guys that can shoot threes on this court, from what I saw last night anyway. But if you're running low post, and now you throw the ball down in here, and let's say there's 3 options when you run low post. You can go to the corner, you can go right, you can go left, you can go straight. So you can go to the corner, you can cut, or you can screen away. Right now I'm going to say just go to the corner every time. All right, just so we can demonstrate this. Then we'll do low post cut, low post screen away. If this is your best player, you're putting low post in first because this is your score right here. We've done nothing to move the defense, so pretty much it's 1-on-4, the way that I look at this. So my goal is to, how can we get that defense off the midline and out there closer to that lane line to where they started? Okay, so come back up here, and this is how we do this. Okay, ball back out there. So you already know that you're going to go corner, cut, or screen away, but we're always going to go corner right now. Okay, so you pass it in here. A split second before the ball touches his hands, you are going to cut. So you're going to go corner. And what we're going to do is we're going to say we're going to back cut the point, and we're going to circle the defense. So you're going to back cut from the point, okay? And when you back cut, you watch the guy in front of you. They tell you what to do. So you're going to fill his spot. Now stop right there. Kind of creep. So we're going 1 speed down. When he goes back door, the most natural thing is this defender's like snapping his head and turn. Now I'm chasing, right? When we go back, this is why we love the back cut. Is your guy's chasing, but what happens is the next defender naturally will say, oh, my teammate's getting beat. I've got to come down here and help. Even if they just show, or even if they turn their head, now you've got 2 defenders helping on 1. And what the back cut does, it's not only just trying to get him open for a layup, but what the back, selfishly, we try to get open for a layup, but unselfishly, that back cut gets your teammate open. So if you're ever not open, just go back door. That not only takes your defender out of the way, but it takes the next defender out of the way as well. Okay, and then your teammate gets open. Okay, but this is what happens. Come back up here, start again. Back up here at the wing. All right, go ahead and feed the low post. Back cut the point. Now, when you back cut, you're always going to fill opposite because he's in the corner. You can't go that way. You're going to fill opposite. You're going to start to get to this lane line. I like this guy to get to the lane line. I'm making eye contact with him, okay, because I'm stepping. I want to catch the ball when I get here. I don't want to get here and stand. I want to catch the ball at the point. I don't want to stand at the point and wait for it, because if you're standing, your defender's going to fill that gap and catch up, okay? So now what we did, though, and you already see what happened, is this defender started chasing his teammate, started chasing his guy out here, and then this guy filled to the wing, and this one's like, oh no, I got to come up here and guard mine, and this guy's filling the point, so this guy's like, oh, I got to guard him, and what we just did is we turned a high school defense. You guys will probably be more like this, like 1 foot, like maybe like just right on this side. It's not going to be that exaggerated. We just turned a high school defense into a college defense. All right, college got 4 guys, 5 guys that all shoot threes, so they're more athletic and just more talented, more skilled. So the game is more, and the three-point line is deeper in the college level, so there's more space to cover. So they don't have to play midline D. This is like college's midline. Now, do you like this or do you like that one better for you to score? Yeah, there's room there. If you can get to the middle, what do we teach in post moves? Now, don't open up, but slide. Slide. So now he's going to slide in here. All right, now he can get in there and score. Now what happens is, okay, if you get in here, usually it's not the defender one-on-one that will force you to spin, but it's this guy's, he's going to come down here like this. And now you can kick it there, okay, or maybe this one helps, back here. Maybe this one helps. Boom, now there you go, he's open, okay, or back here. Or maybe they're just kind of, you do a good job of cat and mouse. You don't commit, but cat and mouse. And now, but you've got me here, so what can you do? Yep. Now, if I'm 5'11", 6 foot, if you're bigger than me, it's here, and it's just, that's a big drop step. Okay, but then again, if I'm 5'11" and you're 6'2", yeah, then I'm here, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and run through that again. From the top, yep. Defense, go ahead and stay on them so we can see what the defense does. All right, here we go. Make a move. Catch and rip. Boom. There you go. Wait for it. Slide, 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 slide. Good. Okay, go again. Good. Go again. Go again. Now, walk through this one more time because I want to talk the defense and the offense one more time. Here we go. Go ahead. In and out, make a move. There he is. Cut. Boom, stop, right here, stop. Now, it's a back cut because we cut behind him. Okay, so you don't ever want to cut in front of him. Because if I cut in front of him, he's just going to get here and ride you, and you're never going to get open this way. And if you're cutting in front of him, he's like, oh, got him. One. I don't have to help. Okay, because he's like, oh, he's not going to score that one. So he doesn't have to help. He can come up and deny that one right away. But if you go behind him, right here, right, now he's got to turn and snap, and he's like, oh, no, I got to help for a second, and that's what gets him open. Now, defensively, this is what happens when especially when you have younger guys playing defense or JV guys or freshman guys, is they don't jump to the ball. So he'll make that pass, and he'll just stand here. It's like, of course I'm going to cut his face. So you got to make sure you're also teaching, because the good defenses are going to jump to the ball and get into the right spot. Okay, we talked about that last night, Coach. Okay, back up here top. Okay, defense, go ahead and step off. And now we're going to go through all of the scoring actions. And the first scoring action is go ahead and make your move. Here. Okay, boom, stop. Now, the first scoring action is going to be him backdoor. So when we actually install the offense, we think about it as where's the first scoring action? And if that's not open, where's the second scoring action? And if that one's not open, where's the third scoring action? It's kind of like, I've been using the analogy, it's kind of like in football. That the quarterback drop back, they have read. This is always my first read. This is always my second read. This is always my third read. And then I'm throwing out of bounds, or I'm scrambling, or now we just play. Okay, but the first structured scoring action in low post is you back cut, you backdoor. So you're actually going to drop it down here with your left hand. Yep, or you can do it with your right hand. It could be either boom like this or boom like that, whichever one you want. Okay, and we're going to shoot that one as a layup. So go ahead and back up here. Let's start completely over. I'll make you guys run a little bit. All right, here we go. In and out, boom. Good. Cut, hard. Feed the post, boom. Back cut, boom. That's the first one. That's the first scoring action. Okay? Now, go ahead and run that through again. Now he's not okay. And stop. Okay, now, as a coach, my thought process is this. What if that's not open? What if he's not open? What do we do next? There's always a next thing. That's what's beautiful about Princeton. It's like you never get busted in the offense and then say, okay, now we have to come and figure this out. What do we do now? So what we'll say is there's always the next thing. We always have this pre-designed. He's not open going back door. And if he's not open, the first thing you're looking at now is what? Is this defender, hold on, if I'm guarding him, did I go from here to here? And did that defender go from here? Did he go from here to here? Or did he come, oh no, I got to guard this guy. And now can you score? Okay, so that back cut is not only for you to score, but the back cut also is to get him open. That back cut is also to get him, all right, a scoring opportunity. So just because you cut hard, 3 people have an opportunity to score. You got an opportunity, he's got one, and he's got one. Okay? All right, so the second way that we can score, if the back cut's not open, is now post move, making your move and score. Okay? All right, one way or the other. Okay, here we go. Start back over, back up top. In and out, make a move. Good, cut. He's not open. Boom, score. Good, good, good. All right, back up top. Low post, back cut, stop. Now, Dad, now, what if, as he's going, what if that defender stopped here? What if you got 6'8" on you, all right, and you can't score down here? All right, the next one you're going to look at is what? Probably this one right here. Okay, so what happened is when he went back door and this guy's filling, maybe this guy is now, instead of coming out here to deny him, maybe they're like, he hasn't made a 3 yet. Maybe they come in here this way. Okay, so now if you can't score, the next thing you're going to look at is your point. Okay, and from low post, you're going to catch the ball at the point, hit them there. All right, and what we say is we want you to snap it to the point. And when I say snap it, because we want the ball moving, so we're going to snap it to the point. And this is the natural end of the low post series. All right, there's one series that continuously can run as a continuity, and that's chin. That's why everyone runs chin, because it's easy. It's a continuity. The same thing happens over and over and over again. You can run low post as a continuity. You can run point as a continuity. You can run open as a continuity. Maybe we'll talk about that Sunday if we have time. I think I've got that slated to do that. But low post will come to a natural end whether you run low post corner, cut, screen away. There will come to a point where now the ball is at the point. Okay, so when we say snap it to the point, that means the next thing that we're going to be running is point. Okay, now the next scoring action, however, is you shooting the basketball. So when that back cut goes, when you're feeling the point, your eyes lighten up. If you're a shooter, it's like boom. That's my. The first thing is if I'm open, I'm going to shoot it. If your coach wants you to shoot it, let them shoot it. If you don't want them to shoot it, don't let them shoot it. Or if you have 3 players that are allowed to shoot that shot, you say you're allowed to shoot that. You're allowed to. No one else is allowed to shoot it. What usually happens is you'll have one guy or a couple guys say they want to shoot it because they're open, but then you have to go explain to there's a reason you're open, and eventually you have to tell that kid, hey, you're not shooting that shot, but you can shoot it and you can shoot it. Okay. Eventually the players are going to figure out in this offense where their points are going to come from. They're going to figure out. I'll have some players that have some skill sets, and they're like, by the time we have our offense in, they're like, oh, this is the one that I get to score on. Or this is where my strengths come into play. Okay? So the third scoring action is going to be you actually shooting the 3. Now, when you snap it to the point, and I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself, but you just follow the ball to the elbow. You stay in the corner. Okay? So you guys already kind of know point screen away, right? Point over the top. This is a different way of getting into it. Okay? So let's start that back up from the top. And we're going to run low post. Now, we're going to run low post. The point back door is not open. 5-man can't score, so you snap it to the point and shoot a 3. All right, go. I'm going to try to drag you guys in a little bit. Hey, can you guys help me with this? Give me one guy on that side. Just one guy right here behind. Just be very careful of the tripod. All right, go ahead and do that again, fellas. I'm just going to slide forward. No, we're going to slide that way. Nope, that way. Yeah. All right, stop. Go again. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. And stop. Phil, how's that? A little bit better. One more time. And stop right there. Looks good. Okay, good. Awesome. All right. 1 second. Okay. All right, so you guys got that. Now, when we actually install this, and Sunday, I think we're with a different group of guys, I'm going to ask you guys what you want to see installed. We're actually run like a real practice, like a first practice, actually rep it the way we would install it. But we want to run this on both sides of the floor. So I'm just going to kind of show you guys this right now. I want you guys on your own, because we're going to do it for the coaches, fellas. We're going to kind of try to keep you guys on offense most of the time so you guys can learn it the quickest. We'll get you guys in as well. But you run it on that side and just go over there. And we do the same thing. Throw it to that wing. All right, cut. And now you fill the point. And then you feed the low post. And then boom, and then you back cut. And I got 1, I got 2, I got 3. Those are 3 scoring actions. Okay, so you can run it on both sides of the floor. And I tell you what, I'll probably wait until tomorrow to show you all the different entries. But you guys, I want you guys to just go ahead and run it on both sides sometimes. All right, sometimes I want you guys on the wings to run the points. Okay, so run different spots. Now, so if you're got in your head like, hey, you're going to run the point, watch him one time and then see how he does it, and then switch some spots a little bit. Okay, here we go. So let's walk through this again. Let's make a move. Catch and rip. Now stop. So this is why, again, sometimes you got to put coaches on them, or you have to explain, how did you make that pass? It's like a little thing. Yeah, so can you actually do that in a game, though? Why not? Yeah, there's a guy standing, going to hit me right in the nose. Guy standing here. You'll see your players, when you do 5-on-0 stuff, so like at the very beginning, we do 5-on-0 for repetition of the actions, for timing, just to learn the movements. But you'll see players do stuff like they'll make passes like that to the 5, or they'll make passes like this to the 5. And like, you can't do that because there's a defender there. And this is my beef with 3-on-0, 3-on-3. If you start to teach the offense with a drill, 3-on-3, take those 2 guys off the floor. You 2 guys step off the floor. Okay? And we're working on first scoring action, second scoring action. So I throw this pass, you go back door, I go to the corner, you hit that one and score. Okay? What happens is, these two guys don't get repetition filling to that spot and filling to that spot. So how many of you ever installed an offense before and your complaint was you're always on the sideline screaming, fill, 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 and they don't fill? A lot of that is because they don't get repetition on the weak side action. They don't get repetition filling. So one, doing things 5-1-0, 5-1-5, is you have to point things out to them like this. It's like the little thing, but if you don't do it now, when they catch, that's why we say every time you catch it, you catch and rip, then over the top. Because that defender is right here. So if you have to, sometimes we'll put an assistant coach on some certain spots. Usually when I'm coaching, I'm always like this. I'm guarding here, so when they go back door, they can actually see that a little bit. Sometimes I'll put a manager out there or something like that. But you got to make sure you guys point stuff out like that, okay? Because it's not always that obvious to them. Okay, go again. Start back over. All right, so now let's go. So this is low post corner. Okay, so go ahead and make your move. I tell you what, give me three defenders back out here again. So that's low post corner. We're going to do low post cut and low post screen away next. So go ahead and make your move. Catch and rip. Okay, now stop. Hold on. I want you guarding these three guys on the weak side, so that's fine. You guys go back to where you are. That's fine. You guys are fine. All right, who are you guarding? You guarding the wing? You're guarding the corner. Or is that right? I don't care who you're guarding. Pick one. Okay? All right, let's say they stop right here in the lane. Now, the first thing we have to do is we're going to back cut the point. Okay, you guys might have already done that. We're going to do it again. So back cut the point, circle. We're going to run a circle around the defense, literally, to try to get them to chase their. And you just see them just naturally. We're doing this in like 10%, and they're going like this. They're going towards their guy. Okay, and if we get them going towards a guy like this, if you can get a defense to do that, that's going to help you guys score down here. Now, let's say maybe you did that, maybe you didn't. Come back here. Let's just sit right here on the midline. Now, come up here. So that's low post corner. Now, I would recommend, if you're going like all out on low post and say, hey, we're going to run low post and we're going to run low post and low post, you can put all three of these actions in. But if I'm going to run low post into point, I'm just picking one of the three. I'm picking low post corner because it's the easiest. It's just a feed the post, go to the corner. It's like the easiest one to do. So if you feel like our players aren't that good, just go low post corner. Don't teach them low post cut because there's more movement. Okay, but if you do like low post cut is going to be after you feed the post, we back cut the point, we circle the D. We've already done that. Now you're going to cut through here. You're going to cut right down through the middle. Now watch this. You're going to cut through hard. You're going to look for the ball. You're not going to get this one most of the time. Well, I should take that back. If you did a good job, and that defense is now chase them out to the lane line. So you guys are now guarding. If this happened and you went low post cut, boom. This is an opportunity to score off of that cut. Now, when I went to San Antonio last spring, Coach Herrera and those guys, they would actually take their low post player because he wasn't a back-to-basket player. He wasn't even a scorer. And they would put him in the short corner, run low post from the short corner. And now look what that does. And they ran low post cut, low post screen away. And that was their bread and butter. But they opened all of this out by moving the 5-man out. We'll talk more about that this weekend, so come back in here. But if we move the defense out there, you have this one now as an option. That's a score. So we'll drop it down there and we'll shoot that. You watch the guy in front of you. He tells you what to do. So he left the spot. What do you do? Fill it. He left his spot, so you fill his. There you go, and then you fill that one. Okay? And now what happens is we've essentially circled the defense twice. And if I'm guarding him and I chased him out here, now can you score off that? So just like we low post corner, now you can score off low post cut the same way. So low post cut, the first scoring action is point back door, wing back door, and then it's me. All right, and then if you can't score, what's the next look? The point. Snap it to the point. Okay? All right, got that? Okay, so defense step off. So now you guys can have an understanding of how you're manipulating the defense. This low post cut is only going to be open, and you need to know this because you're the passer, is that the defense is out here. All right, if the defense is in here and he's cutting, he's not getting that back cut. You fake it like you're going to make that pass, but he's not going to get it. Okay? All right, here we go. Low post cut. Let's get the wing cutting back door. Point's not open. Boom. Cut hard. Boom. Good. Nice. There's a good lefty reverse. And so do you see how important shooting righty reverses, lefty reverses are? Okay, here we go. All right, now let's do it again. All right, now the wing cutting back door is not open. Back at the point. Boom. Cut that one. Now you slide in and score. Now you slide in and score. Now it's your turn. All right, in progressions. So it's in progressions. So you guys know progressions. One thing and then the next. They're always in a specific order. Now, there will always be times you abandon the progressions and be like, oh, I caught it, and he's supposed to back up, but well, I'm just going to make my move right away because there's no one here. Then you can break the progression like that and just go make a play. So there's times that they can go make plays, and if they do that, perfectly fine. If they try to do it and it's not there, say, hey, you're forcing it. We need to back off that a little bit. Okay, so first one is point back door. I'm telling you that's not open. Second one is wing back door. That one's not open. Third one's you. Here we go. All right. Point back door, wing back door, boom, boom, slide. Good, nice, 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 nice. Good, go again. All right. Now, point back door is not open. Wing door, back door is not open. You're not open. What's the next one thing we do? Yep, snap to the point. Here we go. Good. Don't be afraid. So you can move down here, move up there. Give me a lot of different angles. You can go up there on that side. Go again, one more time. You can go way out there in the middle, film back this way, so you're getting me talking to the guards a lot like that. Thank you. Good. Good. Snap it to the point. Good. Now, go all the way back to that point. When we snap it to the point, and I know we haven't talked about the point series yet. Go walk all the way through that again, so you guys can see. And this again, this depends on what you're running. Never do what you just did. Never front pivot. Never front pivot. Okay, so we back cut the point yet? All right, now you cut here. You fill the wing. You fill the point. Now, if we snap it to the point, you're coming right, flashing, looking for the ball. So whether you run the point series or not, when you throw it here, this is what you'll probably do. You have to go to the corner. Okay, so if you're running the point series, you have to make sure you point that out. Because if you stay up here, again, this is high school. If you stay up here, I'm right here defensively. So if you don't tell them what, so fellas, listen, we can't put a defense on you day one because that defense needs to get reps too. And we'll talk about how we install it again Sunday. So you have to trust coach when he says something, go to the corner. It's like, why? I'm open right here. I was like, well, there's no one guarding you. Okay, but there's a reason why he says go to the corner, because if you stay, I stay. If you go, I go. And just because you went to the corner, he's open. Okay, that's why those little things, those little details are important. Okay, we're not doing that one yet, but you're going to shoot the three. Okay, you guys got it? Okay, start back over. Come back to this side. Okay, the third one is low post screen away. All right, low post screen away. Make a move. Cut. Okay, stop right here. Now, the way I saw you guys do this last night, and coach, correct me if I'm wrong, but you just went and screen away. You guys do this a little bit, right? And you go screen away, and do you use it or you go back door? You go back door, then you pop. Okay? This is why it says, now bring the defense back out. 3 guys guarding these 3 on the opposite side. So if I'm you, and I'm screening away, all right, and you go back door, what are you going back door into? Yeah, the defense is set. Right? This is the good, again, the team you guys played last night, you guys got this back cut. All right, against those other teams, you're not going to get this. Not like this. Okay, now, collegiately, if you are the Oxy guys here? Collegiately, the defense is already over there. So they can just screen like this, and they can cut in their space because the defense is on that lane line. But for most of us, it's not the case. So ball's back here. So this is why I like to, every time the ball goes low, throw it down here, back cut the point. Now, okay, now you back cut and you go guard him, get out, and you chase him out there. You start to chase him out. Now, this is why I also tell him to creep. Even when we're going low post corner, I want you creeping to the point. Because now if you have all 3 of these in, this is important. Okay, if you're only running low post screen away, okay, they're stopping here because they know what's coming is next. But if they don't know it, because he might go to the corner, okay, I'm coming. He might cut, okay, boom, now I'm going. But if he goes screen away, I don't want to be at the point when he screens away. Now I want you to screen away, and look where we move the defense. Now I want you to screen, but I want you to screen instead of the elbow, which is where you would have to screen last time, now you can screen the nail right on the midline. So now, this is, I like this angle a lot better. We've got the defense shifted out here a little bit, and when we approach screens, and you'll see this especially when we go point screen away. Again, I said this the other day. Can you close that door? We never V-cut. We never teach them the V-cut off of screens. We don't teach them the V-cut to get open because we don't want to get open. We want to be open. We don't teach them how to back cut off of, or the V-cut off of screens. You're going to walk in a straight line. So if you're guarding me now, I don't care how they guard me. I just want to know how they guard me. And if I come down here and I V-cut, if I come down here and you come down here, you're guarding me, and I come back up this way, okay, so it's like we're set. Everyone knows they're coming off the screen or we're curling. If I'm going hard this way, it's hard for me to stop and go back door from that position, okay? And this is again, the first opportunity we're actually teaching them to go back door, and other than from the point, but from a screening situation, 11 times out of 10, if you've never taught this before, they're going to come up here, boom, they're going to use the screen every single time. So if you want your players to go back door, we teach them to go back door first, always. And I like the back door because of what it does, but because it's kind of like throwing the ball into your post. If you don't teach your guards to throw the ball into the post first, they'll never throw it in there. And then you start screaming at them, throw the ball in the post. Then they throw the ball in the post, and then your postman's like, oh, I got it. And they never throw it back out. And that's how, and then they're like, he won't throw it back out, so the guards won't throw it to him, and then you have that battle. If you don't teach them to go back door first, they'll never go back door. Okay, so you're going to walk in a straight line now. If the ball is there, you might be a step down here. Okay, but as I walk into a straight line to this screen, okay, all I care about is like if I want to go back door, and right now, is you're going to start breaking down about 2/3 of the way there, and I'm going to juke here and try to get you leaning this way so I can go this way. All right, it's the whole game. I'm trying to shake him. Now I'm doing this without a basketball, right? We did this dribble moves. Shake him left, bake him right. Okay, now I'm doing it without a ball. I'm going to try to shake him left, and then here we go. And then if I'm off my right foot, boom, left hand. That's why you have to have that layup. Okay, and this is why. Now sometimes you can get quick in here and get off 2 feet, but if you're in space, just 1 foot and score. Okay, so the ball's back down there again. All right, so the first way is to go back door. The second way is to curl. Now, if we're screening it, this is another reason why I always like to back cut the point. Because if you don't back cut the point, and I'm standing here, all right, and now my defender's on the elbow. Okay, this isn't bad if I want to. Now, you guys are going to be in here right about there. Okay, this isn't horrible for this, but now I can't curl. If I wanted to curl, I'm going to run right. I'm bringing everyone to my 5-man. Okay, so the other reason that back cutting the point, circling defense creates more space is now you screen the nail, and now I can curl. And now there's room for me to curl. All right, do this one more time. And let me show you how we curl again, because that wasn't very good. We're going to plant. Okay? We call it a tight curl, so it's going to be plant. And that's how we do that. We don't like run, so guys, you're not going to just like sit here and run or curl around here like this, because I want you to come up there. You don't know how they're going to guard you at the start. So you're coming up here, you're chopping your feet, plant. Okay? And then we go from there. Okay? So you can back cut, you can curl, or you can use it. Now, if I'm going to use it, it's going to be here. Now, depending on what you do next, if it's chin, if it's point, say if you want to run low post and chin, I might do one thing. If it's low post and point, I might do something else. But I want to right now come off this and fill this wing. All right, and if you screen, you're going to pop to the point. Now reverse pivot and pop to the point. Yep. And then you can actually get right back into your low post formation from here. Okay, but those are the 3 ways that we can go off of that. So let's go ahead and defense back off. So offense, guys, do you guys understand now why back cutting the point helps create more space? Okay, so we're going to go low post, screen away. I want you to chop your feet and go back door. Now, screener, when you come in here to screen, the way that you screen, come here to chop your feet. I'm going to chop my feet like this at the same time that this guy's coming down here like this. He's going to chop his feet, boom. And when he splits off you, you're going to split off him. And it's always a reverse pivot. Reverse pivot so my eyes get to the ball the quickest. If I front pivot, my eyes are going away from the ball and I can't see what's going on anymore. So you screen, reverse pivot, and I want you to pop to the point. Okay? All right, here we go. Another reason why I like screening the nail. Go ahead and go. I like screening the nail instead of the elbow. Boom, good. Good, good, good. Yes. Now, I didn't even tell you, but you did that right. These 2 spots were filled. Actually, these 3 spots were filled, so he's like, I got to go that way. So in low post, screen away. When you go back door, you're actually going to back door, fill under the 5-man, and fill this side. So we have our point, our wing, our corner, and then he's filling back out on this side. Do that one more time. Hit the cutter back door off the screen again. Off the screen. Boom, boom. Get it right there. There, good. Now, little thing, come back up here. Do you remember where he hit you? No, he hit you right. He caught it with his left hand. So he went back door, so guard me. You threw it to my left hand, and I caught it back here and brought it up here to score. So this is a little thing. Okay, if I'm coming off this back door, always lead that out here. Yeah, and it's quick like that. Okay, always throw it ahead of him. Never throw it behind him. All right, here we go. Now the back door's not open. Boom. Good. Shoot the 3. Good. Good. And they kind of already have that because of what we've already done. Okay, now go ahead and do that again. Snap it to the point. The 3-point's not open, and just stop. All right, here we go. Low post screen away. Good. Good. Dead. Now, if you're running the point series, you're perfectly set up to throw the ball to 5 and run the point series. Okay, tomorrow we're also going to talk about, well, what if the point series isn't open? We'll start talking about counters and audibles. But again, this is where low post naturally comes to an end, like we said before. Once you get here, it's like, okay, what's the next thing we want to do? If it's point, you can run point. If it's not point and it's chin, there's other things that we can do. There's other ways we can get into chin from here, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. But just so you guys can see ahead a little, if you don't want to run the point series, you can run low post like this, exactly like this. But they're like, well, coach, we're not running the point series. We can't run low post like that. Well, you can. There's like one more step that we do that we can get into the chin series, and we'll show you guys that tomorrow. Okay? Do you guys have any questions? You guys can stop me at any point in time. I feel like I'm not asking any questions. Pretty good about it? Okay. It kind of feels like it starts off slow, and then we really start getting into it. Okay? All right. All right, chin. All right, so that's the first series. You guys need a drink of water? You guys good? All right. All right, you guys go. Hey, go get a drink and come right back. Does anyone online have a question? Is this angle better? Is this being closer better? Who was asking that question? Is it Garrett, Coach Sloan? Is this angle better? You guys closer? And don't worry about complaining. I appreciate you guys asking those questions. I am going to change batteries real quick because I've got a battery dying, so I'm going to cut the audio out. Audio will be right back. Okay, do we have audio back? Phil, give me a thumbs up, audio. It looks like we have it. Awesome, okay. If that audio gets scratchy at any point, guys, let me know, but I think we got all the volumes set pretty well. Okay. All right, you guys good? Okay. Step back up here where we're starting. So now we're going to run chin. Most everyone's pretty familiar with chin. I'm just going to go through and hit on all the little details that that your players, the same mistakes that the players make all the time that we don't correct enough. Okay, so step in here a little bit so they can see you online. Usually what we'll do, so when I talk about starting the offense, I know coaches online might not be able to see us. I actually like starting, when we rep this in practice, I'm always starting behind the volleyball line because it's the most game-like that we can actually mimic in practice. When we're coming up the floor, guys, once we put all of this in, all this offense in, you're going to see, it's going to be like, okay, I need to know before I get to half court what we're running. So it's like, is he open? If he's open, boom, we're running low post. All right? Or if you're coming down and if it's chin, it's like, okay, I'm looking here. Oh, he's open, we can run chin. Okay? This is the first, back up, going to be you. Go ahead and guard me real quick. It's kind of back there, kind of how they were guarding you last night. Last night, Coach was saying, it's like, you know, chin feels kind of awkward when you just bring it down the floor and just make this pass because they're making this pass and it's coming across their body and there's a guard. It's kind of awkward. So we'll talk about entries. I think it's tomorrow or Sunday. We'll talk about entries here in the next couple of days. But when they started to run forwards out, what you guys call exchange, like the momentum, is it easier to run chin off of that versus just dribbling up and running it? Okay. So I like forwards out too, but sometimes these are the guys you want coming off drifts. And depending on your personnel, you can run this multiple different ways and get the right player off the shuffle, the right player off the drift. Eventually, if you have 4 players interchangeable, it really doesn't matter. Eventually the player that needs to get the shot is going to get the shot. I can't remember, I think that was Steve Kerr that said, hey, eventually the ball is going to find Steph Curry. Or eventually the right guy is going to find the ball in their offense when the ball is moving. But when you're coming down here, again, it's kind of like judging space. Okay, if you want to come here and run chin on an entry, and now they can see me. Okay, back up a little bit. And if I'm dribbling up here, and if I pick it up, and again, I want to throw 2-hand chest passes, but if I do this, it's going to be kind of hard. So it's kind of like last night, you guys are bringing the ball down the left side, ball in your left hand, so you feel like you have to come across your body and make that pass. But maybe one thing that can help you out running chin, bringing the ball up the floor, bring it up in your right hand, boom, and just, now it's a little bit easier to make that 2-hand chest pass. Okay, another thing that you can do is bring it up with your right hand and come, and then, see that? Boom, chin, chin. Okay, now, chin is a 2-pass reversal. So this, and watch for this pattern. Watch for this pattern. When we talk about all 4 series, and then Sunday I'll show you the flash series. That's what Princeton calls center forward. But essentially, this guy gets the ball as low post. This guy gets the ball as chin. Okay? If that guy gets the ball as flash. If that guy gets the ball as point. Okay? At the elbow. If that guy gets the ball, depending on where the ball is and where the 5-man is, kind of what we're running. So when the ball comes guard to guard, at the most simple level, we're running chin. So a 2-pass reversal, again, it's going to be chest pass, okay? And when you turn it and make that chest pass, the one thing that these guys did well last night, and Coach said, we haven't run chin since last year, and I was surprised they did it so well, is they hesitated. So you go ahead and be this guy. Is they make this pass, and usually what happens is, bring it back up here, is they'll make this pass, this 2-hand chest pass, and then they're going to cut right away. Right? And if they cut right away, this is what happens. Ball's here, you go ahead and cut right away. And we're doing this. Now throw the ball. Ball's in the air. Now, hit that. When the ball is being passed to the forward's eyes are watching the ball. He's not watching this. And if he can't see this, he doesn't know how to read this. If he can't read this, what happens is he gets open. He's wide open, but he can't throw it. Because by the time he sees it open, it's too late. So what you guys did well last night, and I want to emphasize to keep doing, is when you throw this 2-pass reversal, it's the hezzy before the cut. Where have you heard that before? Layups. Layups. When we did our layups, guys, hezzy, boom, and then cut, right? Right? Something there's a reason why we teach you to do that in your skill work is because you're going to see it again in the offense. The reason we teach you the in and outs and the dribble moves like this, and we can also create angles that pass it to the low post. It's also so we can make other passes. But the reason we hezzy and cut is because we're also going to do that again in our offense. All right, so you pass, go ahead and make the pass, and you hezzy. Now it does two things. One, I might relax. Now the team you played last night start doing this, okay, or they start going like this, okay. The second thing it does, now he's got the basketball. Now your eyes are glued on this situation. So give me 3 defenders. One guarding a point, you hold on to it right there. I need a guy guarding the 5. I need a guy guarding the ball. And 5, the ball and the point guard. Right now, right here. Now, you need to be looking for specific things, okay? Actually, give me one more defender out here guarding this one. We'll just do it. Just give me all 5 guys out. Give me all 5. Let's just do it. So sometimes, like before you actually start repping it, sometimes you might throw 3 defenders on like I have so that they understand. I got cut in the 7th grade. 8th grade, I made the team but never played. I mean, literally scored like 11 points the entire year. My freshman year, I made JV, but I didn't play for the first, probably, I don't know, 10 games, and then I started to get a little bit of minutes. My sophomore year, I made varsity. I sat the bench for 12 games, and then I started swinging. Wasn't until my junior and senior year that I actually started playing. It wasn't until the last 11 games of my senior year before I finally got confidence. Okay, and that was kind of my journey. So it's like I never understood the game very well as a player. If you guys ever run the flex offense, you guys ever run flex, you guys might. But coach, we've all taught flex. Coach, but it's the easiest offense. So it's like chin, but it's horizontal. And it's the easiest offense. And coach put it in. We worked for 2 or 3 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we have a game. Second quarter, coach timeout. All right, we're going to run flex. And I looked at him like, I don't remember it. Okay, and I was just, 1, I didn't understand it very well. 2, because I didn't understand the game very well, and that's because I didn't start playing until late, and some players just don't pick it up as fast as others. You have to teach them through repetition. You have to teach them through repetition. Okay? So, and you have to show them why. It's kind of like when you coach girls. Girls are great to coach because they don't ask questions. They will do everything you say. The guys ask questions. And the guys question you. And actually, I don't actually know if I believe that about this group from watching you guys play. You guys are pretty darn coachable, pretty good kids. But a lot of times the guys are going to question why you're doing this, why you're doing that. So bring the defense out, and maybe if they question it, that's one thing. Show them why. Okay? If they're slow understanders like me, show them why. So sometimes bring this defense out so they can actually see before you actually get right on the 5-on-5 and the reps. And that's why I say, players, you got to trust your coaches that they're actually do what they say. And when they correct you, make the correction because they know where the defense is going to be. They see something that they haven't taught you because we can't teach you everything at once. Okay, so the ball is 2-pass reversal. All right. Now, defense, go where do you go? Okay, now, the first thing when you're running the chin, there's 3 ways to get open off the shuffle. All right, so start coming off the shuffle cut. There's 3 ways. The first thing you have to see, if he's ever going to be open off the shuffle, is where is this defender who's guarding the 5-man? Right now he's here. All right, if he's here, what do you think? Nah, there's a chance. There's no one down here. All right, if he starts to back up like this, you pretty much know I'm not throwing this pass because he's down there. Right? So the first thing that you're looking at is where is X5? Where's the 5 defender? If he's up here, if he's skinny up here on the 5, or if he's up here like, because a lot of times they'll be like this, okay? First thing you guys gonna know is like if they're guarding chin like this, they're not very well coached defensively. That's what, when I go scout someone, that's something that I'll look at. It's like, do they jump to the ball? Are they in a pack? Are they in a deny? How do they guard back screens? Are they switching it? Are they sagging off of it? If they're sticking, I'm like, they're not real disciplined. So your eyes be like, all right, yeah. So I need to pass fake low because I'm going to be zipping that over top in a second. Okay? That's the first thing you look at. Second thing is how are they guarding the point guard? You'll see this 2 ways. First of all, he's going to backpedal and you're coming. If he's backpedaling, what's he not seeing? He's not seeing the screen. So you're flying off the back of it. He gets plowed off the screen. X5 is high. We're going to be open early. Early means on the left side of the basket. So you're going to feed him over here. It's going to be pass fake low, over top. Okay? And you make that pass. All right, so real quick, so again, it's kind of like when we run low post. You catch it, you rip low to get his hands, not only to get his hands low, but you might be a player, and eventually we'll teach you this. This might not be something I teach everyone, but maybe some players say, hey, if I got a player here, like your best players, like, why do you want your best player on the wing? Because maybe they can just catch it and go score if all of this is happening. So that's a layer that we'll teach them. But you want to catch it, rip low, hands low, boom, I pull back, and then over the top. Okay, now, this is the first time, fellas, we're all say, score off 2 feet. Okay, so what happens is if you're guarding me and you're chasing me, but you got screen, I'm going to catch you. The quickest way to score, boom, off 2 feet in the left hand. Okay, and if you're on the other side, it's boom, you catch it, boom, off 2 feet, right hand. That's the quickest way. Because you're going really hard without the basketball, and there's traffic, just catch it, boom, 2 feet left hand, 2 feet right hand. Okay, so the first way is early. If he's high, stay on the wing. I'm going to show you all 3 ways. All right, if he's back, now the second way that he'll guard this is he's going to actually turn sideways. And he's going to actually chase you. We'll say he's going to get skinny through that screen, get on his hip, and he's going to chase. Now, if he's chasing, he's not going to be open early because look at the separation. But like if you guys ever watch racing or NASCAR or dirt bikes, when they turn the corner, that's when so he's going to create separation late, and he's going to be open late. Okay? So that's when you're going to get him, you're going to see him open here over on this side. What's that? Yeah, it just depends. Like you said, sometimes he's going to be open, sometimes he's not. But when I'm just kind of showing him what when you guys are in that spot, the tendency, if he's backpedaling, boom, look early first. He still might not be open early, but he might be more open late. So there's just 3 places that he can be open. That if you go ahead and go off of that, if you turn and chase, not open early right now, but boom, he turns the corner, and now he's open late. Maybe you got him to rub shoulders on your 5, and that's why he's open late. Okay, come back up here. The third way. Hold on to it. The third way you're going to see this, okay, is he's going to jump to the ball. If you see this, pretty well could. Now go off of it. And you're just going to slide through. Not open early, not open late. Okay, so we'll actually look at him one more way. If I'm denying you like this, keep coming, and I want you to swim over top. Swim. Boom. Post. Okay, the third way, if you want to post your guard up off of the chin of the shuffle cut, this is how you would do it. And this is why you would do it. Okay? All right? And if we post our guards up, usually in chin, we're a little bit further out. So you can still slide, hook, and play that way, but I'll teach you different post move series that we'll work on another day so we can get through all of this. But we'll teach them reverse pivots, drives, spins. We'll teach them a whole series of what we call Tim Duncans. Okay, come back up here one more time. And then the last way, go ahead and jump to the ball again. Jump to the ball is X5 drops, not open early, not open late for 2 reasons. So your mindset's like, hey, he's not open late. Now we're going to look at him and go ahead and post up. Right? And off of the shuffle, what do? Yep, you follow the arc. And you're going to basically split this line between 3-point line and the elbow at the shoulders, or you're looking at the corner, shoulders to the corners. And then you're going to come plant, and then boom. So this is what happens. When you know that this one's not open, when his eyes, and this is why eye contact is so important. We emphasize eye contact so much. When my eyes are with you, I'm playing with you. When my eyes leave you, now I'm working with you, and you get out. So now you get out to the corner. So as long as I'm looking at you, I'm thinking, I think I can do it. Nope. As soon as now I'm not looking back. Once you look away, you don't look back. And now we're going off the drift. Okay, so let's just do those real quick. A defense step off. So let's go chin. Let's score early. Then let's score late. Then let's score in the post. Okay, here we go. Battery. I'll get you. Just stay right there. Good. Go again. Next group. Go ahead and hit your pause. That's fine. You can pause it. Okay. Oh, you're good? Boom. That one out. That one in. Make sure it says 100. Battery level low. Also? Really? I'll get you another one. Go again. one doesn't work, put that in your pocket. Okay, all right, so you guys go early, late, post? Okay, so now, so you got, yep.
Okay, so when Justin cut through and got to the post,
Go into your two-pass reversal. So come off this. Yep, so I'm going to deny. You want to take me down. There you go. So you can do that. You always swim. Yep. Now he gets what? He's stuck. Okay, so kind of moving ahead. So what's going to happen in the offense? While this is happening, you're going to come around here, set the drift. Okay, you're going to pop. Now, what happens, this is why I like chin, because you got your guard down here in the low post. You got your 5-man up high, so X5 is up high. So what I like best, the first thing I like is I like the defense up here to go, but he's saying you're stuck. So what happens if he's stuck? The first thing I'm going to do is, these guys are so focused on this screen, if I'm guarding the drift, I'm going to be chasing them off the drift. But if you see the ball in the post, don't go too far. I want you to stay kind of tight. So if the ball's in the post here, as I start coming high, and you're kind of like, you guys are like, oh, ball's down there, let's stay up here, let's try to get the defense up here so we can score. If he can't score, you start to draw me up, and then boom, you're going to go back door here, and you're going to pinch me back door, and we'll look at that one next. Okay? And if that one's open, we'll hit that one. Now, go back to where you're at. Now, if this back cut's not open, usually it's because X5 also did this. So there's kind of a couple things you can do. What Princeton, what the big dogs will do, the big teams will do, is they'll actually change their 5-man. Their 5-man can play the perimeter. So this is the 5-man, and now he'll pop to the point. So they'll actually run the point series with a guard. But most of us, 99% of us, can't do this. So what you could do is, depending on your personnel, if you like the open series, you can snap it here, and instead of running point, you can pop out, and now you can run the open series. Okay, and that back cut off the drift will get him open. If you don't like if you're running, if you don't like ball back here, if this is kind of one of those kids you don't want to touch the basketball out there, what I would do is you could dribble him back door. I'm going to dribble at him, you go back door, and if you had to, I could just keep dribbling up. Now you fill up with me. Now you circle back around, stay with me, and run chin again. And now you're back off chin again. And dribbling him back door will hopefully help us get that one open as well. But those are two things you can do. Yeah, that's a great question. I've actually never done it like that before, and I've never taught it like that before, but that's like an easy thing you do if you don't want him to touch the ball. If you're running, here, come back here and do this again. So this is what I call a rabbit hole. And I know Phil's laughing. Phil New Jersey's laughing. So go back door, not open, boom, pop up there. Okay, if you're running chin and low post, just guard me. Okay, boom, dribble him back door, boom, I'm gonna go hard, boom, and I could do turn, boom, low post, and run low post. So if you're running chin and low post, when I back, this is what we call back dribble, I can go low post. Okay, I can throw it back here and run low post. If I back dribble and I throw it this way, we can run chin. Okay, if you have strong, what we call strong side chin in, you can come here, the 5-man's up, and if I can't throw the guard to guard, this is kind of like a tomorrow topic, but I can turn around, stay high, and I can throw it here and run strong side chin. So this means, guys, we're running the shuffle cut, but on the strong side. So I'll come off of this one, and you'll pop, and then we'll flare on the backside. There's all kinds of stuff we can do. But that's me going down a rabbit hole. Okay, back up top. Okay, so shuffle cuffs now not open. Let's get to the drift. Okay, so now let's get to the drift. Go ahead. 2-pass reversal. Hezzy. Boom. Not open. Now hold on. Now, his eyes are still looking at you, so you stop. As long as he's looking at you, you guys are playing. Eyes leave me and go here. Boom. Now I'm out. Okay? So change speeds. Everything you do with a purpose. And here's something that's going to help you guys as well. I talk about your eyes a lot. Whether you pass it to him or not. I see you. I see you. I see you. Nice work. I see you. Okay? And then I'm off. So not only am I making eye contact, I'm not only seeing him, I'm verbally telling him, hey, I see you, I see you. This is something I got from Ohio State. when Beth Burns was at Ohio State with the women, I was a practice player, and they were so good at talking, and they were like, hey, I see you. Hey, I got you, I got you. You know, and they would, those were like the, I see you and I got you, was like, that became part of my vocabulary as soon as I happened to. So when you're talking to your teammates, hey, I see you, I see you. Or if I say, I got you, it's like, hey, I got you, I got you. On a screen, or hey, I got you with the pass, or you know, whatever it is. Say, I see you. Just acknowledge the cut. Acknowledge his work. Right? He's working hard for him. He's working hard for you. Boom, I see you, I see you. Ah, I can't. Now I'm coming this way. Okay, so my eyes leave you, my eyes come here, now we're playing. Right now, so you got the ball here, off of this drift. Now, pay close attention, because tomorrow I'm going to show you a different, the footwork off the drift is one of the biggest questions I get. Okay, when you're running chin, it's always come down here, plant on the outside foot. And it's almost like, like this, and bring the defender below the screen, and then boom, back pedal, and there you are. Yep, one more step, boom, right there, he's open. Now, and it's, here, guard me real quick. And it's always here, it's plant, and I like getting here a little bit. So then when I reverse pivot, again, and he did a good job, so coach, this is something you guys are doing a good job of. Most teams, they'll want to go like this and flare off of it. But this shallow pass gets deflected a lot. And if you turn the ball over here, you're in trouble. But one thing that I want to point out a little bit more than I usually do is when you come off of this drift and you're getting ready for the shot, I don't want to be catching it on a back pedal and stop. So I don't want my weight coming backwards. So this will help you guys as shooters. And sometimes you'll have more time to get your feet right, and sometimes you won't. It's just kind of how the game goes. But if you can, come off of this drift, and I want you to try to, when the ball is in the air, your feet are in the air, coming forward again. All right, so it's here, boom, it's off the drift, and then I want to catch it, and I almost want to be hopping just a little bit. It doesn't have to be hopping forward, but hopping like so you're getting your strength under you again. Okay, so we're off our drift. Off, now come back just from right here. Go ahead, plant. Dead, stop. There are 5 ways to score off the drift. The first one is a shot. So, and you guys got that one down. Okay, so you can shoot the 3. The second one, and again, this is what we've already been teaching since the very beginning. Creating separation. Okay, again, last night, you were clearly better. You guys could have come out and probably not played as hard as you did, and your talent alone, your skill alone would have beat that team by 20. You played hard, you played together, and you beat them by 40. Okay, but when you're playing teams that are evenly matched or better than you, okay, now that team can get through this and guard you. Okay, they've got more weapons defensively, so we need more weapons offensively. So we need to take advantage of this guy's going to close his. They're not going to get screened as easy. So you need to, one, if you're open for the shot, take the shot. You make the shot, that's going to make them come at you harder. If they're coming at you harder, your eyes should be lighting up. It's like, I cannot wait till he comes at me harder, because as soon as I come like this, boom, now you're ripping and you're going through. So you want to attack a quicker player, a longer player, a more talented player. You want to get them leaning one way and you going the other. All right, and especially in the chin series, if Wisconsin's swing series, it's always like, swing it to the left, so you can attack them right. Swing it to the right, so you can attack them left. In chin, we do it vertically first, and then so we've taken everyone down with the shuffle, and now then we bring them all on this side, and now we're bringing it back out, and now we're swinging it back out. So we do it like in 3 dimensions, 4 dimensions, whatever it is. So you have shots the first one. If the shot's not open, boom, I'm flying at you, boom, you rip it through and drive. Now, if you got to get out, what's going to determine if you get that layup or not is where his defender is. All right? If I'm out here, boom, you got the layup. Okay? If I'm in here, so there's 2 ways that you score off this drive, and this is important. If I'm out here, you put your head down, you go. Get there in 1 dribble. 2 if you need it. If you can get there in 1, maybe you're a little longer players can get there in 1. No more than 2 dribbles. That's why when we do those baseline drives, guys, I want you getting there in 2 dribbles. Okay? If I'm out here, head down, go score. Now, back up there off the drift. The second way we teach them how to score off the drift, and again, this is just skill stuff, is now I'm in a good pack line, 50-50, where I can do this. I can cat and mouse you a little bit. So, but he took away the shot. But you still want to drive, because that's the next one. So go ahead and drive, and if I go like this, and actually, before I do this, you already see that I'm standing here. So you want to hezzy on your own. And when you hezzy, I'm thinking pass. Oh, he's hezzy, so I go like this. And then when I go like this, that's when you stop the hezzy and you go again. All right? So back off and do that real quick. So the first one, if I'm out here, you just catch and drive. That's easy. Shouldn't have to explain that one. All right? But it's here. You want to hezzy before I... yep, there you go. And you'll figure that timing out. Okay? So that's so shot, drive. The next three, I used to teach them all. And then I'm like, what happens is when you try to teach everything, and this is why coaches complain, it takes so long to put the Princeton offense in because we try to teach everything. So what I started doing, actually I didn't really come up with this until I started working with you guys, is the next one that I would teach is the dribble at back cut. Or, and with the dribble at back cut, when I first started coaching, everyone was denying. It was Coach K, it was new school Dick Bennett, it was old school Dick Bennett, on the line, up the line, denying. So we would catch it here, and we'd take one dribble, we'd go back door. So it's a drive. Now, it's not don't dribble at your teammate. Drive the elbow, drive the rim, boom. If I'm up here, it's automatic, you go back door. Now, I used to teach that. We used to actually rep that, and I would have to tell the defense to come do it. But then when I started coaching guys, no one was ever denying us anymore. Everyone was starting down here, and we would never get that. But I spent a half hour a day or 15 minutes a day, which is a lot of time, working on dribble at back cut from this drift. Okay? And so the point I'm trying to make is, because the next one is, so that's the third one. The fourth one is, if they're in the pack line, we're going to give and go. If he's open, okay, why try to dribble him out and go back door? So just, if he's open, just give it to him. Boom, shot. Or now you go, and if your guy's chasing you, so what happens is you come off the drift back here. Give me a white defender over here in the pack line. Hustle, I don't care. Hurry. In the pack line, down here in the gap. And I'm chasing you like this, and I got here just enough to take away the shot. Now you turn around, he's wide open, throw it with no dribble. Boom, cut. And I'm chasing. And then boom, pop out. Okay, so it's a give and go. All right? The third one, well, that's actually number 4. Those ones are like, if you're in love with one, you know, you can teach both of those. Okay, you can hop off now, thank you. When I went down to Alabama and worked with Brewers girls, this is something that you see it more with the girls teams. You see it more with your JV, your freshman, your middle school, is even though they're in the pack line, for some reason, and this goes to, I feel like when I see defenses that are not well-coached defenses, the team you guys played last night, I'm going to keep banging them because they were not super well-coached. I'm in the pack line, and the girls that I was coaching, the team you're playing last night, you can still dribble at me here, go back door, and they go like this, and then they go like this, or then they turn and like, oh no, and he's still open. So if you love what back cut that much, you can stay with it, whether they're open or not, whether in a pack line or denial, and sometimes you'll still score out of it. But what I've started doing is I've skipped the dribble at back cut. I've skipped the give and go because those almost come they're so obvious. If he's that open, just throw it to him. And maybe it takes a year for your guys to acclimate to just playing within this offense. But if he's open, it's kind of like this offense turns into a common sense offense. If he's open, give it to him. Okay? If he's not open, dribble him back door. They're going to pick that up. The hard one is a good defensive team. Is he open? Obviously now he's open, give and go. Obviously now he's not open, dribble him at back cut. But most teams they're like, is he open or not open? Okay, and this is what you're going to see the most with the good teams. So in this situation, the fifth way is a drive and kick. Okay, so the one you're going to see the most often is going to be a drive and kick. So I will actually not teach the dribble at back cut, the give and go. I'll skip right to this one. And then when we see a team denying like crazy, I say, hey, when we catch it off that drift, go back door. And then we get it. We never had to work on it. And we didn't have to waste all that time in practice working on it until we actually saw it. And once they understand the offense and just the concepts of dribble at, backdoor, dribble at, come and get it, stuff like that, you don't have to teach them. I never use a whiteboard in the huddle, ever. The only time I ever use the whiteboard is just to orient the kids. Hey, we're on that side of the floor. Connor, you're here. Tony, you're here. And then we all know where to go. I never drew. I just verbally would tell them, hey, we're going to go forwards out opposite. Let's check it first. Let's forwards out. Let's run low post. See if we can get one time. If that's not open, let's back to one to point screen away. And I say all of that in the huddle, and they come out and they do it. And it's because of the way that we install the offense and because of what we've repped and what we didn't need to rep. So dribble at, drive and kick. Thank you. So now the drive and kick. This is really important. It's angles and spacing. When he catches it, you're going to be on the wing. Okay? But on the first bounce, again, you're not dribbling at him. Okay? You're either dribbling at me, or you're driving the rim, or you're driving the elbow. On the first bounce, what happens is this. I'm cat and mouse. I'm here and I'm here. Is if I'm here, he can't drive. So you sprint to the corner. Now, one of two things. Now, this is just a two-man game on the weak side. So what's going to happen here is I'm either going to commit here or I'm going to commit to you. Okay? And if I'm doing this, as you come deeper, I come deeper, like this. Now, if I commit to you, if you're high, if he's open in the corner, it's going to come from you being high because I'm low. I'm taking away the drive. I'm committing to you. So he's open now. So if you're high, you can two-hand chest pass this, right? All right? And you look at that line of the ball. If I'm like this, you can make that pass. Okay? If I'm like this, you're like, I can't make that pass. So this is what happens. Give it to him. He gets excited. He drives like, I think I can get by my guy. He drives lower. He drives lower. My hand's like this. Up there, he's open, right? Drive lower. Drive lower. Boom. Now is he open or not? And this defender, this is the one that they get. Okay? Because he stands in the corner. So the driving kick has two layers to it. If you guys are on a string, like our 2-2-1, if he's up, he's back. And if he's up, he's back. Or your press offense, whatever. When you're high, he's low. When he gets low, you go high. So you start filling, you return to the wing is what we'll say. You get lower. Now look at that hand. Boom, two-hand chest pass. Yep. And right here to the wing. Or wherever you have to go to be. Okay? So you're either going to hit him high off that for a 3, or you're going to get low and return it to him for the wing for a 3. Okay? All right, you guys got it? So let's go back here and run chin. And let's get to a drive and kick. I'm going to guard him one of two ways. You make the read. Okay? Right. Boom. Good. Good. I was staying there, and when you're sliding, I mean, because of how low I was, you're fine there. But you might want to keep working your way down to the corner a little bit further. Okay, go again. Now stop. Now, again, bad defenses, the defender's right on him. You can do this. All right, that's not who you're trying to beat. All right, coaches, this is something you have to point out. He keeps sliding out this way to set this screen. Okay, and this is another thing. If you slide out that way, to set that, go ahead and slide back out that way. I have to now do this to get around you. And if I'm going in a banana cut, right, it's taking me longer to get there. So where I like this guy, maybe I didn't point this out, so this is my fault. But I want your outside foot on the lane line, your inside foot inside, like this. So when he makes that pass, he can cut in a straight line. He makes his pass, boom. Now I'm in a straight line. And I don't have to go around you. So I can, boom, get here and here. I'm tight. That's a little thing. Okay, last night didn't matter. Okay, you get in your league, that's what matters. That will get you layups. The other one won't. Okay, because once you start going this way, your defender's like, my guy's going the wrong way. I'm just going to come over here and guard everybody. And it takes them too long, and you never score. Okay? All right, here we go. Chin. Good. Boom, down. See? That's a turnover. Okay? That's a turnover. So as you get low, the lower you get, you've got to return. All right? It's part your fault for throwing it. It's also your fault for not returning. So do that one more time. Off the drift. There you go. Pop. Good. Down. Good. That was probably a good read. Okay? All right. Guys got it? Okay, you guys have any questions? Okay. All right. Back up top. It's kind of like when you do this on paper, and this is kind of important. Like for me, I'm like, I can get through everything in 2 hours. no, we did 3 hours, but I did skills in 1 hour. I can get through all these series in 2 hours. I can do it on my whiteboard. When once you get out here, it's like there's so many little things. All these little things matter. And when we skim over these, we're going to make sure we'll get everything first thing in the morning because these guys are back first session tomorrow, right, Coach? Yep. So all these little things matter. And if you don't emphasize them, they don't do them. Again, it doesn't matter when you're playing the teams that you play in summer league that aren't well coached. But when you're playing the teams, it's that three-layer team. Some teams, guys, you're going to show up and you're going to beat them. Some teams, it's going to come down to execution because you're pretty evenly matched. But it's the teams that are better than you. That's or more, or supposedly, all right? Supposedly, individually, everyone. We don't have a chance this game. That's who you're trying to beat. So all these little things matter. Okay. All right. Stop back down there. Point series. All right. The point series is again. So we talk about if you're thinking about it strictly. So when we talk about Princeton and encounters, if one thing's not open, this is the very basic understanding of it. If he's open, boom, running low post. Okay, ball back here. Let's just say like we have everything in. If he's not open, hey, I'm going to run chin right here. Okay, now I can also throw it here and run low post on the other side. But if you have everything in, it's like, okay, I'm coming down the floor, low post, low post. Oh, no, chin, 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 because that one's not open. Now I can run chin. But if this one's not open, and let's just say for whatever reason, this one's also not open, okay, now I can say, hey, wave him through, and now you can run the point series. So the very basic, like, there's always something. There's always another thing you can do. Again, and I don't install my offense that way just because that's not open. I'll have easier things to do than run three series. But come back up here. But it's kind of that concept. If something's not open, there's always something else you can do. The point series is great because when if you have a guard that can handle the ball up here, waving him through. If you don't have a player that can handle the ball, there's other ways, easier ways to get into point without the dribbling. So coach say, well, we don't have a lot of dribblers, but we still want to run the point series. When you wave them through, and if you're playing pressure teams and wave them through, now I've got to be doing all this stuff and all of this, and I've got to time it up with my 5. If you don't have a kid that can do that, maybe running the point series out of the low post series is a better option. Remember how we run low post and then we end up at the point, and I'm going to show you tomorrow different ways to go from low post into point, easier ways. But if you have the guards that can wave them through, or if the teams aren't pressure, or even if the good teams aren't pressuring you, letting you run their offense, all right, the first way to run it is to wave him through. Now, because I've seen you guys do this a little bit, I want to really fix a couple things for you guys. All right, first thing is you start right here on the low post because you also run low post. If you're up here like this, it's one step, but your defender goes from here to here, and it gets harder to get open. Okay, I actually because I want you open at the elbow, I want your defender down here as low as possible. So first thing is you go wave him through. Okay, now stop. First thing you did is you went the wrong way because you're trying to get to the point. You're running point. So where's the point on the floor? Right there. If you start going that way, all right, and then because he's getting open on the opposite elbow, you're going to go past the point and you'll be trying to throw it over top. I'll show you in a second. Okay, so you're going to come right through. You're going to come through on this side. Stop right there. Yep, because you're going to cut right through the midline. Basically, if that nail on that free throw line was right here, is where you're going to come. All right, you are going to take one step. So you're going to take instead of because you guys were like going in front of him, he was just sliding through. Again, the team you guys played last summer league teams, you guys do that to all day long. Right, teams you're trying to beat, you can't do that to and get open. So you're going to take a step back, and I'll even tell my guys, put your hands in the air. Because if you put your hands in the air and step back, I'm like, oh no! And then defensively, I'm going to do this. It's just natural reaction. And then you're going to turn and you're going to turn this way. Now look where the defender is. So I put them on. So you are head hunting me. You're never going to touch me. But you're going to start chopping your feet right around that midline. Chop, chop, chop. And then you are going to, as soon as this split action is about to happen, you're going to easy, 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 0 to 60. Create separation and then get open. Okay, then you're out. While all that's going on, you're coming down here, and you've got to be, I don't care, right hand, left hand, doesn't matter. Point, point, point. And I'm going to get here, I'm going to go. So now I'm timing it up. So I want to arrive here at the midline, and you're going to be probably out here. You don't have to be down here to run the point. You're too close. But if you can get right here, okay, boom, 15 foot. All right, and you can throw that and run point. Yeah, you're waving him out, but you got to go. Your goal is to get to the top of the key. So you've got to bring a defender over here so you can get here and have an angle to hit him. Okay? All right, so get the ball back up here. So you're going to come down and just look at it this way. If you dribble right there, look at this. Go dribble right here. And if you just come straight, look at me. I'm right in between you and the 5-man. So if you come back up here and take me this way, it's the same thing, guys, about trying to throw the ball to the low post. Make a move this way. I come here, take one dribble, boom. Now I'm on your side. Now you've got a straight line to make that pass. Really important detail. All right, now we're going to screen. Now, once we're here, there are 3 options. All right, again, you can go left, you can go right, you can go straight. We don't want to go backwards. So it's point screen away from the 5-man, point screen over the top of the 5-man, or point down the middle. And we used to say away, over, and under. So it's probably, I always say I like the least amount of syllables possible because I'm yelling all the time. But the cool thing about this is you don't have to say away, away, away. You don't have to say that because it's so obvious. If you screen this elbow, everyone knows what we're doing. All right, if we go point over, if you go over the 5-man, it's so obvious what we're doing is we're going over. You don't have to call it. Okay, and that's something else that we do is when we call the plays, and as much as we possibly can, we call the plays what they are. Because what it does is it removes a layer of, it removes a level of, another layer of learning. Because if you call point screen away, Ohio, and point over the top, California, first of all, they have to learn what point screen away is, then they have to associate that with Ohio. And then you have to learn what point screen over the top is, and they have to associate that with California. And instead of just calling it what it is. I don't care if the defense, point screen away. I don't care if they know, they still have to, we still have all of our moves, all of our counters, all of our options out of it. Okay? So, you guys mind if I go just a few minutes over? You guys good? Okay? All right. So I just want to show them, I'm just going to show them the core stuff, and then we'll finish it tomorrow. So get here to the point. Hit the 5. All right, now you're going to screen the elbow. All right, this is where you're going to screen because most likely this is where his defender is. Now again, you're never going to V-cut. Okay, I saw you guys V-cutting a little bit sometimes last night. You are going to screen, and you guys were screening out here sometimes. These are little things. You're going to screen, again, like this because of what you're doing next. If you screen like this, it's going to be a little bit more of a step, and it's going to be less efficient for you. You're going to screen at an angle, and you're going to chop your feet. Basically, all you're trying to do is you're trying to, one, if you know you're going back door, you're trying to get me to think you're going up there, right? It's like when you're making a dribble move. If you want to go left, boom, you got to juke right, right? If you want to go back door, you've got to sell me on I'm coming to get the ball. So your eyes are on his eyes because you two are working together right now. So eyes are important. So you come in here, you're walking in a straight line, you chop your feet. I do this, boom. You juke high, you go low, okay? Now, come back up here and do that again. Another big question coaches have about the 5-man. Guard me. Do you play with your back to the basket or do you square up? Okay, that's a big question. The way that I was always back to the basket because that's what I always saw the college guys do. But then I started going back and looking again. I was like, oh, they're not always back to the basket. More so, they're always back to the basket when this guy's leaning on them. When there's contact, I'm back to the basket. Okay? So go ahead and screen. I'm going to back up a little bit because that's where I'm going to be. Boom, screen. And now, boom, back to the basket. I can very easily make these passes like this. Okay, come back up here. Now, the problem happens is, what happens when you go and set the screen and he's off of me? When he's off of me like this, I make this pass and I'm throwing it right into his hands essentially. So if the 5-man defender is playing off and giving you cushion, boom, this is when I will turn around like this. Again, I'm going to pivot. I'm right-handed. I'm going to pivot on my left. Boom, and you go and screen, and I might do this. Okay, or I might pull back like this. You come back at me, and then boom, I can come like this. And now I can look to pass around that way. Okay, it's separation, right? If you're on me, boom, I'm here. There's nothing I can do. Okay, but now if you're off of me, I'm going to come like this. Okay, and you're off. Okay, and maybe I can make this. Now I can make this pass around you. But if I come back, you come at me, boom. Now I can go this way. I can pass back around them. So it's all that. Get them to go that way. Get them to come this way, kind of thing. Okay, all right. Okay, do that again. So I'm just going to do the screening part, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up. Okay, hit here, screen away, back cut. It's always a back. So this is always teach the back cut first. Always teach the back cut first. Okay, when you play those good teams that they're quicker and they can take away the back cut and they can guard the screener and you're having trouble getting open, then we'll start putting in the curl. Hey, now curl that, guys. That curl will get them open. Then they start switching it, and I'm saying, hey, screen and slip it, and then we negate the switch. We'll talk about that later too. Okay, so that's the first option, is screen away. The second option is here. And again, this is not in any order. I had some guards who loved point screen away because they didn't have to run so far. And they loved getting off the chin drift because that's what point screen away does. I had another guard loved the corner because of the space. Because, hey, if I go to the corner, now we have a two-man game on here instead of three on this side. He could get in here, and he could spin, and he could play. And he liked going point over the top. So if you do both, you're going to find out whichever one they like to do the most, let them do it. Or if you say, hey, I see you're running point screen away a lot. I think if you run over the top a couple times and come back to point screen away, you're going to get what you're not getting anymore. So there's always this balance, but some of your players are going to like some things more than others. Some players are going to catch the ball here, and they're like, I don't like running point at all, but that's okay because we have point opposite planned for them. We have point opposite, and so that kid doesn't have to run the point series. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. Go ahead and drop it down. Now let's screen over the top. Something you guys did a great job of yesterday is you screen the defender down here. This is where the defender is. This is the details you need. Instead of just like going backdoor from there, which is you guys could get away with, against a good team, you need to walk in a straight line. You need to start chopping your feet. You need to juke me high. So I go like this, boom, then you go back door. And then when he goes back door, you're doing the exact same thing, reverse pivot, popping out here for the ball. Okay? All right, do that one more time. Just from right here. Point screen over the top. Boom, chop your feet. Boom, good, good. It's a little thing. How you set the screen up, it's a little thing. And I watch, come here and guard me. Come in and set the screen in. Just walking up. He's coming. I say, I can start walking now as he's coming because you're chopping your feet. I'm chopping, woo! And you're going. Nice pass. That's a good pass. Okay? It's a little thing. When I first figured out that Stanford was watching Princeton, or when Tara Vanderveer, the all-time winningest female coach of all time, is running Princeton. They throw the ball to 5. And now, it really annoys me, but their defender was down here going screen over the top. And they were going to go, this is the best in the world. Best in the world. And they're screening out there. And this is where the defender is. I would love to meet her and ask her, but this is what they do. And for them, sometimes it worked. Because they were, 6'7", and they could both shoot threes, and it didn't really matter what they did down here. But then they played Oregon one year, and this wasn't the year. This was the year before they won the championship. And Oregon, one was sagging here, and one was up here, and they would just switch that. Because they were screening out there, teams were able to switch this. They would do the same thing, point screen away, on Stanford, the best in the world, screening out there. But when you screen, and they didn't have to force the defender to make a decision of how to guard that. They're just waiting. Hey, if you cut this way, I got you. Hey, if they cut that way, hey, I got you. And the defense was just waiting for the offense just to split. I don't care if they use it and slip. If they screen and back, it doesn't matter. But if you screen the defender down here, and you walk in a line, now you're bringing the defenders closer together. You're forcing them to guard you. Maybe they come back here. And we use it instead, and then you slip or you post up, okay, and they do something different, okay? So it's really, really important to make sure that these little details against the better teams is really where it matters, all right? And it's the better teams are the ones that we're trying to beat. If we prepare to beat the better teams, you'll never get upset by a team that you should always beat. Because sometimes you show up and there's that team shouldn't be able to compete with you guys at all, but they beat you one night. It's because you prepare to beat them and you don't prepare to beat someone better than you. The last option out of the point series is you hit the 5, and maybe you're being denied a lot, boom, you cut right down the middle. You might have that. Most of the time at the high school level, you won't because we haven't done anything to move the defense. But go ahead and throw it here. Going back door. But when we come here, you're going to set a down screen. Do you guys run this one? Okay. And then two ways. You can just peel off and go. Tim Anderson, Air Force, he was the only guard on the whole Air Force team that did this. But he would get here. He would take me back door. Then he would square up like this. He would take a big lunge this way like this. And the defender would go like this. And then he would turn off of that and just hightail it. And then you could post off of this. And you're going to come up at an angle to the ball. Okay? And you've got him here. Okay? All right, so that's point down the middle. Okay? Guys got good? Okay, go have a seat there. Thank you. Yep. Point screen away.
Right.
Yep.
You would give them the option of curling.
Yep.
Back cut.
Yep.
Not to what was going back.
Yes. Yep. So yeah, no, that's absolutely thumbs up. So, but the way you do that is teach them to go back door first. If you don't ingrain the back cutting into them first, they'll never do it consistently. If you let them start using the screen first, they will always use the screen. You'll never get them to go back door. It's because they've never been taught a back cut until you guys started teaching them back cuts. So you have to teach that first. And I'll spend like the first 2-3 weeks of practice. Now, you guys have, in California, do you have 2 weeks and then your first game? How many weeks of practice do you have before your first game? Forever? Like a month?
There's no limit.
You guys suck.
You can go all year round every day.
Well, in Ohio, we have 4 weeks. And I loved it. And I squeezed every ounce out of that. They switched our first practice from Monday of the season. It ended up being, they backed it up to a Friday. So I would go Friday, 2-a-days on Saturday, take Sunday off, and then we go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'd have our first scrimmage on Thursday or Friday, have our offense in. And then, but we got 3 more weeks of practice and 3 more scrimmages. Most every other state, they have like 2 weeks. Like colleges, they have the first practice, 2 weeks later, first game. So it's like, if you got more time, then you can obviously plan a little bit differently. A lot of guys coached online like Wisconsin and Indiana, and they have like 2 weeks of practice. Now, Indiana and Kentucky, they're basketball states, so they have no rules over the summer, so they have their stuff in. They're playing all summer anyway. But teach the back cut first, point screen away, so that they've got to, that's automatic. And then you can either do it naturally, or you can say, okay, now fellas, now we got the back cut down. Now what you're going to start seeing is they're going to start sagging on that back cut. And then what happens is when they screen on that back cut and they're sagging on it, this defender doesn't have to help. So when we reverse pivot to pop out, we're never getting this one open, which is fine. Even if you never teach the curl, if this one pops back up and they're not open, there's all kinds of things we can do. We can dribble him back door, and then we can bring our guard up and we can run point screen with that guy. There's never a point that you cannot get stuck in. But you're absolutely right. Once they have the back cut down, then we'll say, I'll come on this side so you can see. But then we'll say, all right, go ahead and curl. So now we'll plant. We'll go over point again, point and open tomorrow. That's what we'll start with. And we'll curl this. And the curling, it's almost like a back door, but now I'm even forcing that next defender to really come down and help that. And if they don't switch it, he's going to get open all the time.
Also on over.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. You can go send them back door and post them. So we'll run point screen away and point over the top. If you got 6'2" coming off that back cut, and or even if you got 5'10" coming off the back cut, but you got 5'8" guarding them, instead of sending them all the way through, we'll go boom, back up, we'll go hold, or back, and then boom, we'll just turn back and post up. But it's the same concept that we taught in the skill work. When you go backdoor hard from the wing, and you take that defender all the way down, that defender's trying to get out in front of you, boom, and then you stop and they keep going. You get open, okay, now you can go through your post moves. So but you can do it off the back cut, you can do it off of the curl. You can do it off of a use. You can use the screen. Maybe your big guy is the one screening. So I'm the one screening, and this is the mismatch. Hey, use it. and he uses the screen. Boom, I slip, hold it, boom. And then this one turns around and ducks in. So you can post any of them up, but what you want to be careful of, this is the mistake, this is what we run. We'll teach point screen, we'll teach the back cut. We'll do that for 2 days. All right, now let's curl on day 3. And then they never get good at the back cut, and you've done the curl. Okay, now let's go back to the back cut again. And now they're they become indecisive. So that's why and again, this was my mistake when I was 25. When I was hired as a head coach, the first I was 25, coached there for 4 years as a head coach. And our offense, if you watch my guys run it, they ran the offense exactly like Air Force. We did everything. Point series, low post series, chin series, open series. We even switched our 5-man. And by year 2, we were doing all of that. And I'm like, it was way too much. We never got excellent at one thing. I'd say my guards got really good at the point series, but I was like, if I would have never taught the open series, boy, look how much more time, how many more reps could we have got on the point series and on the low post series, and how many times could we critique some of this other stuff. So I had a lot more on the schedule that I didn't get to because I'm like, I can't. And I know we weren't using all 10 guys the one time, and tomorrow we're gonna mix everyone in. We're gonna move a little bit faster pace tomorrow. But I'm like, I've got to point this out. I've got to slow down. I've got to make sure that we talk about this. I've got to make sure that they do this and not that, because if we don't, they're not going to be good. They're not going to understand it. They're not going to, and then if we don't rep it, they're not going. So if you don't break it down and emphasize why we go backdoor first all the time, and if they don't become really, really, really good at that, once they get really good at that and they got it, and it's got to go from habit to reflex. Once you get the reflex, boom, add the next one in. And then hey, we're really good at the back cut. Now let's go get really good at something else. And now once they're really good at both of them, now you can go backdoor or use the screen. And because once you go backdoor all the time, defense, hey, we're just going to sag off that. Okay, boom, now let's start using the screen. These guys start using the screen after everyone thinks they're going backdoor and they hit a couple threes. Now it's like, okay, now I got to guard the 3, coach, when they screen. And now the backdoors are even more open. But if they don't get really good at one before you move on to the next one, and I'd say some coaches, you might have bigger, slower players, and maybe you don't like the back cut. Just teach curl. Maybe that's what you want to teach. Just only teach them the curl first. Teach them the curl, then teach them to use it, slip it, and post. So it kind of depends on your personnel. But I won't move on from back cut to curl or from curl to using the screen until we're really good at back cutting. Now, if you're 2 years in, 3 years in running Princeton, and they just instinctively know that I can go backdoor anytime I want, and they can do it with ease, and it's not like they're forcing it, yeah, teach them the curl. I'm 100% like, yeah, teach all 3, but just don't get, it's like if you, coach, you run low post, hey, we want to run low post corner, low post cut, and low post screen away. And I do all of that, and then I put in the point series. We never got good at low post cut and low post screen away. My guys never fill because we never spent enough time on low post corner. We got out of low post corner, started doing low post cut. And before we got really good at low post cut, we started doing low post screen away. And we weren't good at anything. So it's like, the screening and cutting is more simple. The offense, it takes more time, but the concept's the same. Great question. Okay, guys good? Okay, are you guys ready for tomorrow? Tomorrow is going to be a lot. Day 1 is always a little bit slower because you work with a new group of guys. They don't know you yet. And then now that these guys know me, and these guys are excellent and really very coachable. Tomorrow, so we're going to have these guys twice tomorrow and then once on Sunday. So this is going to be like a different team Sunday. It's incredible the leaps they're going to make tomorrow into Sunday. I've done this 6 other times. It's really fun to watch. So, all right, let me ask these guys online. You guys have any questions? Pop them in the chat. Tomorrow we're going to start at 9 o'clock. Because of the time slots, I'm just going to go straight through 9 to 4. And we might take a 5-minute break here, 5-minute break here, but we're going to bring food to you guys, if that's okay with you. If you guys feel like you need to get out of the gym, you guys can get out of the gym. What's that? I was wondering about the lunch break. Right? Yeah. Yeah. So I'm a little more intense. All the guys in Vegas right now, and they got all the big name coaches up there, and they're taking 2-hour lunches, and everyone's talking for 45 minutes. You just get the best of the best are at that clinic. But you can only get so deep with them there. So I'm like, that's why I want to do this a little differently. I want to go deep. That's right. Yeah. Everyone online, walk to the fridge, get a beer, come back. All right. You guys have any questions? Garrett, Peter, because you're happy with this one, Phil, but said just a little higher. Okay, I'm going to try to make it higher tomorrow. I actually have my camera on a tripod on a table, so I will try to keep this angle and go higher. If you guys are all good with that, I'll come out and we'll try to be a lot higher. I don't want to go to the bleachers because the bleachers in this gym, if you guys can see over there, they're like 20. Yeah, you guys can turn the cameras off. Yep. And but if I go into the bleachers, because the bleachers are even further away from the court, so I wanted to make sure I was on a table. Okay, if you guys have any questions online, you can always email me. You can message me on Facebook. Hey, Vic, Coach Vic, how you doing? Dude, you flew to Texas. You should have come down to California. It's closer. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If we did good on audio today. All the batteries, we did good on that. So, but if you guys have any questions, let me know. If just put them in here, and I will come back to the chat and I will go through them. But just and if there's something that I did not get answered for you guys, because these guys, it's easy for them to sit down here and ask questions, raise their hand, stuff like that. If I don't get it to you, which I'm going to keep coming back to this, just email me and ask me, and I'll make sure that I address that tomorrow. So really appreciate it, and I will see you guys. We're going to start tomorrow. It's 9 o'clock Pacific time, so it's noon Eastern, right? And it's 11 Central, 10 Mountain, 9 Pacific. Audio was great. Should work fine. Awesome. All right, guys, I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.